Hey, did you know that there's a National Quitters Day? Seriously, a National Quitters Day. So for 2026, that day was Friday, January 9th. And if you're just hearing about this, you may be wondering, as I was, why is there a Quitters Day? And why is it a National Quitter Day? And how did we even come up with this? Listen, those are all great questions. So National Quitters Day is observed each year on the second Friday in January because, according to various news reports and fitness data, that's the day many people abandon their New Year's resolutions due to fading motivation and overly ambitious goals. Which begs the question, did you observe it? I share that because you may have observed it without knowing that you were, and there's also an upside to National Quitters Day. So, number one, it's good that we all set goals, but if we determine that we may have set the bar too high, we can adjust it so we continue to build toward healthy lives and maybe even get back to the original goal that we set if we still think it's a healthy place to get to. So the upside is that National Quitters Day serves as a reminder for us and organizations to reset and adjust goals for long-term success rather than abandoning them entirely. It's a great stuff. So, and I know that NQD, I made that up, was last Friday, but I was thinking about it today when Mandy, our office manager, told me that we have 574 people who have set MCC as My Church on the YouVersion app, and that we have 162 subscriptions to the Gospels plan that we're reading as a congregation, and 38 of those folks are reading it with their friends. So first, I just want to say that's incredible. Second, I want to encourage you to keep at it. You know, the habit of being in God's Word daily, or at a minimum of 4 times a week, will continue to help you and consequently MCC become more like Jesus. So if you quit, I want to encourage you to start up again. All right, which leads into what we want to encourage, equip, and point everyone to this year. And we're calling it Everyone. And it comes from what Paul writes to the church in Rome: everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. And to be clear, that's not an idea that began in the New Testament. Paul is quoting the Old Testament prophet Joel. It has always been God's plan to reach everyone. So here's what it looks like for everyone to live on mission with us. First, pray for one person every day. Pray for someone, maybe you, who has never made the decision to become a disciple of Jesus. That's Matthew 16. We'll look at that this week. Someone, maybe you, who made the decision to follow Jesus, but at some point stopped following and may or may not be going to church. James 5 reminds us that if we should wander from the truth and someone should bring that person back, listen, that would be great. Pray for someone, maybe you, who hasn't, but wants to be discipled. And pray for someone, maybe you, who has been discipled to disciple someone else. Because everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved, and we want to be part of that. So choose one of those 4 to pray for every day. All right, let's get ready for Sunday. If I were to say certain names to you, everyone immediately has an idea about who that person is. So I'll give you a few names. You ready? George Washington, Clark Kent, LeBron James, Michelangelo. And I know that's a tricky one because you might go to the painter, you could go to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I get that. So it's tricky. How about Jesus? Who do you say he is? Who do your friends say that he is? This week in our reading, he asked both of those questions to his disciples, and we'll see how they answer and what their answer means to those of us today who are his disciples and to those who are trying to figure it out. So listen, whether you're with us online or on campus, I'm looking forward to sharing that with you this weekend.